I'm sitting in the cheapest Range Rover in the UK, and for quite obvious reasons. I bought this Range Rover crash damage, and oh, was it crash damage. This car had rolled onto its left-hand side, deploying airbags, damaging all the passenger side, some of the driver's side, the bonnet, the bumper, and a whole lot of other things. Now, I've since replaced the smashed windows, the dashboard because we had to change the passenger side airbag, and also the driver's side airbag, and along the way we've done a lot of upgrades, interior and exterior. With this Range Rover being a 2015 Range Rover, I decided to facelift it to a 2018 Range Rover along with an SVO body kit. I got everything installed, got the car driving with a fair amount of faults on the dashboard, but there's one thing that I couldn't do myself, and that was the rear quarter. The rear quarter was in a pretty bad way. It'd all been pushed in because the car had rolled over onto that side, and with it being aluminium, it's quite difficult to repair. I was in two minds of whether just to replace the whole rear quarter or try and repair it. So I let the body shop decide, and that's where it's been for the past month, and we are going to be collecting it today. The guys at Cars and Colours have been using a jig to pull the quarter back into place. This takes a tremendous amount of skill and patience to get this thing right and to get all the door shuts back to where they're supposed to be. But nevertheless, the guys prepped it, painted it, and now it's ready. So here it is. It was worth the wait, I'm telling you. So it's the original colour of the blue, and it looks a completely different colour because it is that clean and shiny. I don't know if you can see the speckle in the paint, but now the bonnet's painted, the front bumper's painted because obviously I have the 2018 body kit. All the scratches and dents, they're all gone. It looks like a completely different car, and the biggest thing, the biggest part of it that I was really struggling on, don't know whether I was gonna have to replace the rear quarter or not. Check this out. The rear quarter looks brand new. This car has been completely transformed, so a massive shout out to Cars and Colours. It was definitely worth the wait, but there is still a little bit more to do on the Range Rover, especially inside, and the tracking is doing it as well.
Yeah!
Now, even though the Range Rover now may look complete, it's far from it. We're going to be making this thing our own. But before we start making it our own, there is a few more things that we need to do to fix this thing. Now, if you remember, before we went to the body shop, we left it still with a fault on the dash, and that fault is that airbag light there. Even though we've done a full dashboard replacement and a seatbelt replacement, we still have that airbag light on the dash. And that is all due to the airbag ECU, which sits behind here, because remember, we left this all loose so we could access it, and what a nightmare it was to access, but this is still all loose, so we should be able to get to it. And whilst the Range Rover was at the body shop, I ordered a brand new second-hand airbag ECU. This has the exact same part number as the one that's installed there. Remember, we needed the airbag ECU in to be able to start and run the car, but this one doesn't have any crash data stored on it, so hopefully when we plug this in, we should have no more airbag light on the dash. Let's do it. Now, as we've gathered, Range Rover have put the airbag ECU in such an awkward place, right underneath the centre console. Now, unlike the Aston Martin, we can't cancel the crash data off just by using the diagnostic tool. This airbag module can be sent to a company and they can reset the crash module, but for the sake of 60 quid for a second-hand one, I just bought that. I'm going to plug it all in, bolt it to the car, and before we put the centre console in, we're going to check if it works. So everything is plugged in. Everything important is plugged in, but we've not bolted anything in yet, just in case we need to take it all out because this airbag module doesn't work. Let's see if it's cancelled the light off. Please don't let me get whacked with an airbag. There's still an airbag light on.
Brilliant.
No, it's gone. Oh no, it's came back. Airbag light has gone. That's it. Yeah, boy, airbag light's gone. That's completely gone. We've got a few more faults here and everything, but they should go off once we drive it. Job's a good one. Let's get it all bolted back together, and then we can start making this car our own. Someone actually mentioned it in the previous video that taking this center console out, you should actually remove the seats to do it. And I can see why that would be a lot easier. But we managed to do it with the seats in. And the interior now is looking complete. But I'm getting excited now because it's almost time to make the Range Rover stand out from the rest. The blue paint is good and all, and it looks absolutely sick, but there is one thing that, one, is going to protect it, and two, is going to make it more like my own. Yes, we're going to be wrapping it. When I say wrapping it, when I say we, I mean me. Chris is going to be helping, or trying to help. We're going to be going for a completely different colour. Well, you guys are going to have to see what you think of this. Let's get down the colour of the wrap that we're going for. Here we go, 25 meters of Hexis wrap. This is a big car. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would you wrap a car which you've just had fully painted? Well, in actual fact, it makes sense. We're going to be protecting that immaculate paint job, and at the same time customizing the car's colour to exactly the one we want without having a permanent effect. I've had this colour in mind from the start, and it'll be interesting to find out what you guys think of it. That colour, of course, satin black. This is the exact same satin black that we used on the Bentley. What a throwback that was. I think this is gonna look so good on that, and there's only one way to find out what it's gonna look like, and that is to get it on. Let's do it. Now, the cool thing that I like about a wrapped car is that it's easy to look after, and you can pretty much choose whatever colour you want and still have the option to resort back to the original look. And I guess for the same reasons, that's why I like using Squarespace to build a website. And in matter of fact, they've actually sponsored today's video. You see, when creating a website using Squarespace, there are loads of templates to choose from, and you can change this at any time, just like a wrap on a car. Once you've got your template, you can then go in and drag and drop your own logos in there, drag and drop your own photos in there, and edit any text on there. You can customize the website to how you want it. My favorite thing, Squarespace websites are all mobile optimized, so you can flick between what it would look like on a mobile and a desktop view, which is so important nowadays. Squarespace really do everything from websites to online stores to marketing tools and analytics. It truly is the all-in-one platform to build and run your business. So when you need a website, go to squarespace.com or just click the link in the description box below, and when you're ready to launch, use code Matt Armstrong, and that's going to give you 10% of your first website or domain name. Thanks, Squarespace. Now I'm back on to wrapping the Range Rover, and I'm starting it in no particular order with the rear quarter. In fact, the whole Range Rover is a pretty flat car. There's not many curves, shapes or sharp lines in it, so it should actually be fairly easy to wrap. But we'll soon find out. And what's actually helping, it's been one of the hottest weeks of the year so far, and with this heat, it's helped the wrap to be a lot more flexible when bending it and twisting it on the car. Chris has never wrapped a car before, but he's come along to help, and a good place to start if you're wanting to learn how to wrap is a front wing. So that's what he's going to be attempting whilst I do the rear door, and he seems to be getting the hang of it. But definitely one of the most time-consuming parts of wrapping is cutting the edges. You've got to make sure they have a really nice finish. So using the other panels as a guide for the knife is a really good idea to get that super straight line. Chris managed to wrap that front wing, but I'm going to go at it with the knife just to make sure all the edges are how I want them. And with the rear quarter, the rear door and the front wing done, the only thing left to do now is the front driver's side door. We are smashing it so far. Like literally in one night, we've got, well, behind this is a spare bit of wrap. We've got the rear quarter, that door done, the front wing. Chris has been on the other side as well.
Glassed it, honestly.
Well done, Chris.
I think I'm the best rapper in the world.
Now 3 of us are going to man this bonnet. It's a big bonnet. Let's see how it goes, but it is coming together and you can kind of see what it's going to look like. It's going to look sick. Let's get this bonnet done. Now the bonnet is huge on the Range Rover and we could just about do it with one piece of wrap. That's if we stretch it right.
If I'm being honest, loving you the hardest thing to do.
So having 3 people to do this was definitely a lot of help. And now we're really starting to get a feel of what this Range Rover is going to look like, all satin blacked out. With the bonnet done, it's onto the front bumper, one of the most trickiest parts of a wrap job. But before we start wrapping the bumper, we've got to remove it to take off all the trims from behind it, just so we can tuck the wrap nice and neatly behind them. Liam and Chris have been substituted for Hannah at this point, but I'm sure they'll be back for a helping hand. One of the most important parts about wrapping is making sure that you post-heat it. The wrap loses its memory at around 90 degrees, so when you heat it all up to that temperature, it shouldn't lift off.
Pull me closer. Love's in the air, but I'm not breathing. Broken heart need repairing, you're the reason. On the hospital bed.
Now moving on to the passenger side and the rear of the Range Rover. Now for me, learning to wrap a car is all about experience. I've wrapped so many now without any lessons on how to do it. It's all just been a self-teaching progress. And the more you do, the better you seem to get at it.
Take my love, don't waste it. Even though I don't mind waiting. Late test, my mind racing. What else I have to do, girl, embrace me. Want you. I only want you, yeah. I only want you. I only want you. Pull me closer.
Only thing left is the door handles and the roof. But not all of that will be going satin black. We want to mix things up a bit. The door handles are going to be going satin black in the centres, and the parts which are chrome are going to be going gloss black, just to break it up that little bit. Chris has gone away and painted the mirror caps gloss black for me because they can be a bit of a pig. And now it's onto the roof, which again, we're going to be doing gloss black. We are just missing the Range Rover badge there, but I think we've just about done it and it looks so good. If that weren't worth a subscribe, I don't know what is. Now that is way more of me than the blue. The blue was nice, but the satin black has completely murdered this thing out, and it definitely looks now like one of my cars. How crazy does that look? Going from what it looked like at the start of this series to what it looked like now. The finish on this satin wrap, although it's not even the most expensive wrap, it's actually really nice finish to it, and with the gloss black matching all these little sections here, just pops it so well with gloss black wing mirrors, which Chris painted over there, and then we've got the gloss black on the top of the door handles, gloss black on the bottom. It just looks so good. It looks so weird without the Range Rover bag, I do admit, Range Rover badge, but we will get that one sorted. That is in the post, but oh my god, that is absolutely mental. But it's not mechanically sound just yet. There is still a few more lights on the dashboard, all to do with that traction control. Now I believe the traction control light is coming on because of the tracking on the car. One wheel is completely pointing left, the other one is going straight, so the steering wheel is all over the place. So the steering angle sensor is just having an absolute nightmare. So this car will need to be tracked, but before it gets tracked, there's somewhere we need to visit first. Now we couldn't finish a build off without, of course, going to WHEELMANIA, and well, you guys know what we're about to pick up. Of course, we've came here for wheels and we've got straight into it. Kevin, what? He's not bothered at all. 23 inch. So what's on there at the minute? They do look quite nice. The 22 inch, but we've gone up a size to 23. Of course, WHEELMANIA have done all the sizing, the dimensions and everything to make the fitment absolutely perfect on the Range Rover, as they always do. But there's only one way to find out how they're going to look like and what they're going to fit like on the Range Rover, and that's to get them on. So let's get these outside. This is it. WHEELMANIA have absolutely topped off this build. This is so good now. Like, everything is how I imagined it when I first picked up this car. Check this out.
Yeah, when I blow up, I'ma soar high like Peter Pan. In real life, be living all my dreams. If I'm waking up, it's in a foreign land.
23 inches of goodness we've got there. They don't even look too far from the OEM wheel, but it still gives it that extra little OEM plus fitment that just looks absolutely perfect. We could have gone for 24 inch, but then that would mean we'd lose a bit of the tyre, a bit of the comfort, and of course that is what the Range Rover's about. But let me know what you guys think of the new alloys. I think they look absolutely sick. So even though it is my car, but Hannah seems to have claimed it, Hannah is now, no, not from here. Let's go to the other side. Let's go to the other side. Hannah is now about to see them as well.
Okay, can I look?
Yeah, you can look now.
Oh, that looks mint.
Looks wicked, doesn't it?
Oh, I love it.
That is, you can't even tell that it's, you've gone a size up, I don't think.
The only thing that I'm thinking,
right,
they look really easy to clean.
Yeah, they do look
I love it.
Looks so good, doesn't it? Let's get it back to the unit. What a way to finish a crazy build off. The cheapest Range Rover in the UK. Now, if you would agree, does not look like the cheapest Range Rover in the UK. Did I go slightly over the top with this one? Yes. Did I spend way too much than I originally first thought? Yes, but was it worth it, and did I learn a whole lot from building this Range Rover? Oh yes. Everything from dashboards, panel alignment and stupidly expensive headlights, this Range Rover has had it all. I originally bought this car with plans in mind to use it as a towing car for the GT86 when we go to drift events. So of course the next thing that needs to be fitted is a tow bar, so we'll get onto that. The badge has now came, and you wouldn't know that this car is a 2015 plate apart from the registration now. We've got the upgraded rear lights, we've got the full SVO body kit, the side panels, the side steps, the front bumper, the headlights, the grille, the bonnet, and then also everything inside here, including the infotainment system and the AC controls and also the steering wheel controls. I probably could have repaired this car for around £5,000, bringing the total cost of the car and the repair to around £20,000, leaving a 2015 Range Rover actually a pretty good deal. But I've well and truly made it my own, and because we're keeping it, I can't see an issue in that. Could I have just gone out and bought a non-crash damaged 2018 Range Rover for the amount of money that I spent on this? But probably, but it was all worth it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
Heard of Jay-Z?
No.
You don't know, well, he's like married to this girl called Beyonce and he's not that sweet.